On the USTEC 100, this is a very, very profitable trade for us since the beginning of the week on the USTEC 100. Remember, we bought at one point, we sold at one point as well. And in the last 24 hours, we had a massive buy here, giving us about minimum of 3 positions as we rode the move all the way into that 14,500 level at this point. So before we go into the details, let's quickly run through how the week started for us on the USTEC 100. So at the beginning of the week, we captured a range where price action was trading in between, and this was between the 14,415 level and the 14,350 area. And with this whole situation here, we know how we do it. We know what we expect whenever we sight a flat channel like this. We want to see price action either break down the support line to give us an opportunity to sell, or we look out for a breakout of the resistance line to give us an opportunity to buy. And in fact, we had the breakout happened on Monday, which moved about 100 pips in our favor before this whole bearish momentum began to break down the support line. And it was at this point we started selling the USTEC 100. So we sold all the way into this zone here at the 14,230. And mind you, we also had multiple entries as we kept on adding more sell positions at the breakdown of key structures. And in fact, the trend line was very, very helpful in helping us to guide this bearish momentum throughout the course of this week. So it was initially bearish during the first half of the week, and during our live session yesterday, we acknowledged that price action has been finding it difficult to break down the $14,230 area, and this gives us a sign that sellers might likely be losing the momentum that started the week. And with the continued buy pressure, the continued rejection of the zone here, we anticipated that there is a chance that price action could climb to the upside. And what we did here was to position ourselves in such a way that we can capture that move. And in order to do this, what we did here was to identify this $14,275 area, that green line on your screen, and that line was serving as a neckline of this reversal pattern. And one interesting thing about that key level is the fact that it also shares a confluence with a bearish trend line that has been supporting the bearish momentum since the beginning of this week. And what we said here is that if price action breaks out of both of the structure and do a retest of that level, we are going to be buying the USTEC 100. And this was exactly what happened. I think a couple of hours into the New York session, we saw a bullish position triggered, and since then price action had been going to the upside. And if you had followed the instruction we agreed on here yesterday, remember we said we have a buy stop order at the 14,300 to add more position, and we also had a buy stop order above the $14,350 level to add more position to our existing trade. And since then, price action has moved significantly well. At least on the first position, price has moved over 250 pips in profit, while the second position here has moved over 200, and the third position at the breakout of the 14,350 has moved over 150. So we have close to 600 pips in profit if you are taking advantage of all the multiple entries we identified during our live session yesterday. So congrats to everyone who has been part of this profitable trade. And for those who still have a buy position running at this point, well, you know how we do it. The next thing we want to be doing right now is to secure all the buy positions by moving all our stop losses on all positions to a certain level to secure the current position we are in. And from the look of things right here, I'm suggesting that anywhere below the $14,480 area seems most appropriate to move all stop losses to. And let's see how price action will play out in the next couple of hours to decide what our next line of action will be. So once again, congratulations to you guys. Now, going into the New York session today, what is our plans? What do we intend to do? Are we going to continue buying the USTEC 100, or are we going to get ready to sell the USTEC 100? Well, before we can go into the details of what to look out for here today, I want us to scale up into a much more higher time frame, like the 4 hours time frame, to see what is really going on from an holistic point of view, after which we shall be coming back here to make an informed decision ahead of the New York session. So right here, this is the 4 hours time frame, and if you were with me since the beginning of this week, you would remember that we acknowledge the fact that price action has been bullish since the beginning of this month, of the month of May. And to further affirm this bullish momentum, we connected a series of higher highs and higher lows, which has given us this simple ascending channel you see on your screen right now. And something interesting happened during the later part of last week, Friday to be specific. We saw price action break out of the resistant line of that ascending channel to signal the strength of the buyers in this market. And following the breakout of that structure, you saw what happened. You know, from a technical standpoint, whenever price action breaks out of a key structure like this, we expect that one point in time, price will come back to retest that structure to incite another wave of bullish momentum. And this was exactly what we projected during our live session yesterday, after identifying the continued buy pressure just right above the resistant line of that ascending channel. And we said here that a breakout of the 14,300 will further confirm the strength of the buyers. And as you can see, let's zoom right in so that we can see things more clearly here. So you can see what has been happening here. And since the last 18 hours now, you will see that price action is back at a very important area, which is at the 14,000. Let's see how many. 14,530. So let's label this area for the sake of clarity. So we have the 14,530 level right here, and let's give this a blue color. So we are going to be using this level as a yardstick to guide our trading activity for today. So right now, price is back at that area. So what we are going to be doing here is to see how price action will be reacting to this level. So if we start seeing selling pressure below the structure on our lower time frame, that is, price action finds it difficult to break out this level, then we are likely going to be considering selling the USTEC 100 today. However, if price action breaks out of the 14,530 and we buy pressure, then this will affirm that buyers are still very, very strong at this juncture in the market. So in order to identify and understand what is really going on here, we want to scale down into the lower time frame so that we can have a better perspective into this current structure. So scaling down into the 1 hour time frame, this was what I was able to identify here this morning, which also helped me to add one more buy position to my existing trade. And this was what I saw here. So I saw here this morning that price action was initially ranging till about 8 a.m. UTC today, where price action was caught within the 14,480 and the 14,440 to emphasize the level of indecision in this market at this point. And what I did here when identified the structure was to have a buy stop order above the resistance line to capture that move to the upside. And since then, price action has moved. And for those who took advantage of this opportunity, well done to you, as you will currently be running with an additional 37 pips in profit. If you had that to your previous position, well, you will be quite close to about 700 pips on this one. So the next thing to do here is to move your stop loss on this one to protect this buy position at the entry point. So now that we have this whole situation sorted out, what is going to be our next line of action? And like I projected on the 4 hours time frame, we want to see how price action will be reacting to that 14,530. So continued selling pressure around that area might likely incite a sell-off. So if we start seeing continued selling pressure like a reversal pattern, then we want to be part of a bearish move at the breakdown retest of the neckline of that reversal pattern. But if price action breaks out of the 14,530, continued buy pressure above the structure, then definitely we are going to be in for another wave of bullish momentum to the upside. So let's be on standby to capture these opportunities on the USTEC 100. And please, for those who are still in a buy position on this instrument, kindly move all stop losses to secure current position while we wait out for more opportunities to trade the USTEC 100 for today. So these are my views here on the USTEC 100. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know right in the comment section.